This is a down-to-earth podcast documentary series, The Bloods and the Crips, The American Nightmare. Character, Raymond Lee Washington, born August 14th, 1953, passed away August 9th, 1979. Original founder of the South Central Los Angeles street gang, the Crips, right? So he passed away in San Pedro, Los Angeles. He died a few hours at Morningside Hospital by injuries, okay? We're going back in time when Raymond Washington became involved in gangs. It was around the time of the civil rights era. There was gangs around, but the Black Panthers influenced a lot of gangs to just abandon their whole gang mentality and their gang. But there were still gangs around. So Raymond, right? Raymond Washington, he was very influenced by gangs. One called the Avenue Boys, the Avenues. He was very influenced from this gang. They're from the same area, East Side, South Central, and then he created the Baby Avenues. This is before the Crips. He created the Baby Avenues. That was in the 60s. So as 69 came, he finally adapted the name, the Crips. That was from his older brother, right? That name came from his older brother. He was known as a fighter, Reggie Washington. That was his older brother, known as a fighter, and he was fair too. That's where they say the name came from. There's other stories, but we're talking about Raymond Washington, the founder of the Crips. He was the head of the gang, the Baby Avenues, what was influenced by other older gang, the Avenues. I think their name was the East Side Avenue Boys, right? South Central. So over time, his influence got bigger and bigger, and he influenced other neighborhoods to come together under the umbrella of the Crips, right? The umbrella of the Crips. So he believed in defending his neighborhood against outsiders. That's what he was doing this whole thing for, kind of like a Robin Hood character. He loved to fight, right? So as time went on, he got a reputation from the police. A lot of the police knew who he was, right? So his name was out there. That wasn't good. A lot of the neighborhood, they knew who he was. Some people liked him. Some people didn't like him because he probably bullied people in the neighborhood. But some people did like him. And as time went on, he got himself caught up because a lot of these gangs at the time, they were not into drugs. They were into robbery, petty crime. He got locked up for a dangerous crime. I guess it was second-degree robbery. 5 years. He got 5 years in prison. And when he went to prison, he wanted to try to recruit more members into the Crips, because remember, after a while, he changed the name. That was about 69 to the Crips. It was a other gang and other gangs, but he changed it into the Crips. So they were becoming more popular. As he was in prison, 1974, there was the Black Muslims, right? And there was the Black Guerrilla Family. And the Black Guerrilla Family was big already, I think, in Los Angeles prisons. So he wanted to bring this influence to the prisons, and they didn't want that. They were hearing what was going on in the streets, and the Crips was taking over, and they were hurting people that the Black Guerrilla Family knew and the Black Muslims, and they wanted to basically get rid of Raymond, right? They didn't like that he created this monster, what became so big. So let's fast forward a little bit, right? 1979, he comes out of prison. He's out there in the streets. San Pedro, Los Angeles. Someone calls him up to a vehicle, so he knew who it was. And then he got shot in the abdomen. Died when he was in the hospital. That's what went on. Died. Straight up.